Today we are blending culture and community, all to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Two beauty queen guests getting ready to join me in the kitchen now. Jessica, the Huntsville mom, who's keeping her Mexican roots alive through food and family traditions, and Maggie, the hostess with the mostest, known for her themed parties and welcoming spirit. And together they are bringing us a one-of-a-kind Cinco de Mayo celebration where heritage meets hospitality in the most joyful way. Sisters, I am thrilled. Welcome to the show, a fiesta we're having today. This looks so great, and I don't even know where to dive in, but Jessica, I do want to start with you.
Yes.
Because again, this day really honors your background, your heritage. Kind of tell me what this looks like for your family growing up and how you're bringing it now to modern day. This is so sweet and fun.
First, I want to say thank you for letting me tell the story because as I've grown older, being Mexican American, my dad is from Mexico, has become really the favorite part about myself that I have. And I think Cinco de Mayo is really an interesting holiday because it gives Mexican Americans an opportunity to celebrate who they are. So the first thing you always hear is, it's not Independence Day, and it's not. But one thing I want to point out is that in the Battle of Puebla, that's what Mexico did. They defeated the French. After that, the United States actually came to their rescue and demanded that France leave the United States. So it kind of makes sense that we celebrate Cinco de Mayo in the United States because it is sort of a beautiful partnership.
That sweet unity. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
I love that. And again, loving it with you being Mexican American, this is really just a day that I feel like represents you in so many beautiful ways. And of course, you celebrate it in your home, obviously, so many celebrations around the country. But let's try, okay, you've made kind of corn in a cup. Tell me what you've fixed here today. This is a traditional dish.
It is a traditional dish. So you often hear people call it Mexican street corn. Well, in Mexico, they don't call it Mexican street corn like we don't call it an American hot dog.
That would make sense.
It's just simply corn. But actually, my friend Maggie's hosting a themed party tonight, and I said I'd love to bring an authentic dish. So instead of bringing Mexican street corn or just corn, nobody really wants to worry about getting all of that in their teeth.
No. It is difficult.
So it's the same recipe, the same idea, but just served in a cup. So you can use fresh corn. I boil mine, or you can use canned corn to make it simple. You really cannot mess this up. So couple cans of corn or 4 ears of corn. You're going to mix it with mayonnaise. Some people use mayonnaise, some people use crema, but it doesn't really matter. And then you mix it with lime juice. So you would just cut a lime, and I use both halves of it, but you need about 2 tablespoons. Again, you can't really mess it up. Pour all of this inside, and then after that, you've got your corn, your mayonnaise, your lime juice.
Mixed
you just
together.
Add cheese on top. I use queso fresco. But you can really use any sort of cheese that you want, and then you can top it with hot sauce. We love Valentina, and we love Cholula in our house.
Amazing.
But I really
Can we just
love
get these two kind of international, or do we need to go to a Mexican grocery store?
No, and I will say, Cholula has really taken off lately. I feel like it's really the in thing right now to have Cholula hot sauce.
You heard it
which
here
makes
first.
Me so proud that people love it like I do. So
I
you just
love
put it on top. There's really no way to mess this up.
And garnish it with a little cilantro. So perfect, ready for the fiesta. And of course, Maggie, we want to bring you in here as well because no fiesta complete without guacamole.
That's right.
You've got the recipe. Tell me how you put. A lot of people, guacamole can be controversial depending on how you do it.
It can.
So tell me what your secrets
are. And I strongly believe it can be very simple, and it should be very simple. So I really just start with fresh avocados, and what I do is cut them in half, take the pit out, and then you just kind of scoop them into a bowl.
How do you know a good avocado, Maggie? Do you have a tip for that?
I'm the one at the grocery store that's kind of touching them all to make sure which ones. I did it yesterday.
Do what you gotta do.
So you just kind of scoop them in here. And you can dice them, you can do whatever, just get a good bit. And then I like to save the pit, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So I'm gonna scoop this in here, and you do however much you want, and then you can use a masher and just kind of, this mashes it up.
I like to keep it kind of chunky like that.
Yes.
Sometimes guacamole is too whipped, and I'm like,
So here's my trick for that, Peyton. So I like to mash it, and then after that, once you've mashed it, I like to save one that is still cubed. So if you've mashed it too much, you add this at the end.
And it has a
you
good
fold it
chunk
in.
back
Yes, you fold it in.
Wait, Maggie, that's a pro tip. I would not have thought to do that.
Pro tip, there you go.
Beautiful.
And then my trick for keeping it green, I've got a dish here that's finished. So, and I add just salt, lime juice, and cumin, and that's it. I topped a little bit of cilantro, but my trick for keeping it green, if you'll preserve the pits from the avocado, and you'll put them in here before you serve it, and then you'll take some plastic wrap, and you'll just kind of seal it around so it gently touches kind of all down on the
so
guacamole.
really pack it in
yes,
there.
really pack it in there against the bowl with the pits in there, and then that should keep it pretty fresh.
Green and fresh.
And keep it in the refrigerator until you serve it, and then you take the pits out, and it stays green.
You heard it here first from Maggie herself.
That's my pro tip.
I love that. And Maggie, we also want to chat too again. You are so great at hosting parties. Some people feel a little overwhelmed doing that. You're even though having a fun fiesta of sorts tonight, Cinco de Mayo. How do you come up with these things and just curate so many sweet details?
Oh, well, I love a theme. I am a kindergarten teacher at heart, so I feel like, you know, teachers love a theme. Really just watch my mom, growing up, watch my mom host and learned from her. Just welcoming people into your house, and really, she modeled that really well for me. And so my tip to anybody who wants to host is just that you would welcome your home, invite people in, and don't worry about, you know, if your house is perfectly decorated, if you have a home cooked meal, you can have people over for pizza, you can just invite people in your house. And it's truly reciprocal joy. I think it's really rewarding for both sides. I do love to cook, but a lot of nights it's, you know, 4 o'clock on a Friday and we're calling friends and come over and eat pizza. So your house doesn't have to be clean, you know, just invite people in.
That's what they want,
really,
just community, right? I think I've heard it said, like, loneliness is way worse than a dirty house.
Yeah,
right? Like people
absolutely.
would rather sit in your home with dishes that are in the sink than to maybe be home alone, depending on the day or the circumstance. So love again that you just open your home and make it such a sweet and rewarding space. Ladies, we are loving this. So excited for Cinco de Mayo. That's such a fun theme. We'll have to have you back on to do mahjong another time.
Yeah,
That's a whole other
sure,
topic we could talk
absolutely.
about.
Yes.
But Maggie and Jessica, we love both of you so much. Thank you for who you
Thank
are and what you do.
you.
And happy
Thank you
Cinco
for
de
having
Mayo,
us on.
everybody. Again, you can follow Jessica on the Huntsville Mom, and Maggie is available on Instagram there as well with the links for all the party inspiration ideas. Ladies, love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.